Hi, my name is Anthony Whaler, and this is my Apple case study. How does Apple use strategic management? From the beginning, in 1976, Apple set out to be a trendsetter by providing innovative solutions for graphic artists, web designers, and educators. Apple was already ahead of the competition. Apple did not foresee the success that lie ahead of them. However, this is something that they expected to happen given the talent that they recruit and the amount of money they invest in their organization. Over the span of 46 years, Apple has introduced many popular and novel products that have been successful in convincing consumers to purchase them. At Apple, their mission is to ensure that their employees and their work environment is copacetic in order to provide the best quality product to their customers, assuring that they have the best experience with an Apple product and that it is a memorable experience. Apple's vision is to achieve success by quality and innovation that sets their products apart from the rest of the market. Apple's business level strategy is not only about their products and innovation, it starts within the company. How are they going to compete? We already know the market, but how are they going to continue the success? Well, Apple decided that they could help their customers more than third-party retailers and opened up several Apple stores across the country and internationally. They also entered into a multi-year agreement with their supply chain vendors in order to continue shipment of key components for their products. From the case, Apple's organizational structure seemed to be centered around the CEO. I know that there are many other employees, but in my opinion, if the CEO was not doing so well, they would not think twice about replacing him. Steve Jobs ended up leaving as CEO, and it seemed that the company, in a sense, stagnated. However, they were still riding off of the revenues and products that they already had in place. In my opinion, Apple is somewhat centralized with some autonomy spread throughout the company, meaning that the employees are able to generate ideas based on the CEO's direction, if that makes any sense. Anyhow, so the technology installed in Apple products are essentially one of a kind. Therefore, the informational control is tightly monitored in order to prevent the theft of intellectual property as well as to keep ahead of the Joneses, so to speak. Apple's ethics are superb. It mentions in the case how China was engaging in poor labor practices involving unpaid overtime, wages, and poor environmental conditions, seeing how Apple outsources the final assembly to Asia. And despite those violations, Apple CEO Tim Cook decided to bring some of the work back home to the States. Apple has built two campuses that are multi-billion-dollar facilities. The second being Apple Park was built in the hopes of attracting the best engineers and other tech-savvy employees so that the continued innovations and high-quality products continued for years to come. What is leadership's role in Apple's strategic implementation? When Apple began with the first home computer in 1977, it was a success that sparked a revolution in the industry, making them the leader of that particular product at the time. The leaders, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, conjured up these ideas and innovativeness that would propel them into stardom, so to speak. Fast forward to today, and Apple is still at the top of the list for their outstanding products. Although their products may cost a little more, they are unique in their own fashion, giving them an air of superiority to other products similar. As of late, Apple has introduced Apple Pay, Apple Music, the iCloud, and iTunes, something very few competitors are able to imitate. What are some challenges that Apple faces regarding innovation? For one, with the death of one of Apple's co-founders, Steve Jobs, it seems that the innovativeness has escaped the company for many others. He was their golden goose that was able to produce several of those desirable products. He was their visionary. Over the years, several other technology experts, such as Microsoft and Google, have encroached in the software market, shrinking any shares that were still available. This has put a hardship on any new ideas that Apple may have had. Another challenge is the accusation of patent infringement by Samsung, one of the Asian makers of similar technology. It's my assumption that since Apple was doing the manufacturing and some of the final assembly in China, that these Asian markets could have reverse engineered Apple's process, making minor adjustments, either better or taking out some components to do the same job, which could result in a cross-licensing situation. However, when taken to court, Samsung took Apple to court in the States. The American court favored for Apple. However, on the other side of the sea, in the Asian courts, they favored Samsung. So, all in all, it's kind of seems like a moot point. Well, this concludes my presentation on the Apple case study. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.